An Eastern Kentucky teenager fights for his life after an accident. Hear from friends who are rallying behind him. And new revelations into a deadly officer-involved shooting that left one man dead this week in Louisville.
We'll see more sunshine for your Wednesday, but scattered showers and storms return by the end of the week. I'll have a look at your forecast right now at 6.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Tonight, another peaceful protest is being held in Harlan. It follows at least 2 held yesterday in Pikeville and Paintsville. WYMT's Will Puckett has been there since the beginning and has more tonight. Will?
Steve, the group that you can see over my right shoulder now is the group that remains after 2 hours of being out here. At one point, it was more than 100 people strong. They're holding signs and chanting as cars honk their horns as they pass in support of this cause. It's all put together by Bree Carr, who had it on her heart to show that Eastern Kentucky is listening to the black community.
Deep within rural Appalachia, especially southeastern Kentucky, a lot of people look upon us like we ignore issues that are happening and like we're uneducated, especially in things that are political like this is. And my idea was to show people of color who are struggling right now all over the country that there are people in this rural place that are allies, that care, that want to give other people here, the other community here, a platform to speak on.
Steve, I talked to 2 young men who we'll hear from at 11 who were approached by Bree to participate at Walmart. And when they heard about it, they had one emotion. They were stoked. Steve, it's been peaceful. Horns have been honking, and even a Kentucky State Police trooper stopped by to give his support. Again, peaceful here tonight in Harlan. Steve?
Yeah, saw another officer drive by behind you just a second ago. Will, thank you very much. We'll have more from Harlan coming up tonight at 11. State officials say 18 shots were fired by Louisville police and National Guard soldiers early Monday morning. One of those shots led to the death of David McAtee. Executive Cabinet Secretary J. Michael Brown says 7 weapons were recovered outside Yaya's Barbecue Shack in West Louisville, the restaurant McAtee owned. They believe one of those weapons was discharged during that shooting. Earlier today, Louisville police released surveillance video showing McAtee firing his gun at some point.
As the officers are addressing those individuals, Mr. McAtee appears to fire at the officers and they take cover and return fire. But without the audio and without having interviewed the officers yet, that is yet to be determined exactly how those incidents occurred.
Governor Beshear says Monday night's protests in Louisville were milder compared to the previous 4 nights. One person is in the hospital with serious injuries after a fiery crash in Knox County. The Richland Fire Department posted these photos to Facebook. They say it happened around 1 o'clock this morning on Kentucky 11 near Valentine Branch Road. Deputies tell us the person was ejected from the car and suffered severe burns. At this time, we do not know the extent of the person's injuries. A Corbin man is behind bars after a stabbing yesterday afternoon. Deputies with the Laurel County Sheriff's Office say this man, 37-year-old Darren Michael Barrett, stabbed a woman during a fight at his home on American Greeting Card Road. That woman had to be airlifted to UK Hospital. Barrett was charged with first-degree assault and transported to UK Hospital. Fire crews in Rockcastle County were able to save 4 horses and their trailer from a fire. Crews with the Mount Vernon Fire Department said 6 to 8 bales of hay on top of the trailer were on fire when they arrived. No horses were harmed.
Well, we saw that sunshine once again today. It's been a little bit warmer out there, but overall another gorgeous day. Now we have one more day of this nice dry weather before we have to bring back the scattered showers and storms once again. We'll go ahead and take you up, though, to a few of those cameras looking on top of Buffalo Mountain. You can see a few clouds here and there, but overall it's been a pretty nice day. US 119, US 23 in Pikeville. plenty of sunshine over there. Very nice dry conditions. We've been on a dry trend for a little bit. It's been pretty nice to be on this drier trend. Temperatures have been pretty warm today, anywhere from about low, mid to upper 80s. Some of us starting to cool off now. 79 in Wise, 82 in Pikeville, 86 in Irvin, and 84 down into parts of Williamsburg. I think most of us got into about the upper 80s today. I think a lot of us got near 87 degrees. Now for tonight, we'll drop into the upper 60s, mostly clear skies, a few clouds here and there, but overall, another calm and quiet night. Like I said, don't get used to it. It'll change here soon, but more sunshine is expected for your Wednesday. We'll continue to see the hot and humid conditions, especially by the time we get into the end of the week, and that's when those scattered storms look to arrive as well. I have more details on that coming up in a little bit.
All right, thank you very much, Paige. Today, Governor Andy Beshear announced 155 new COVID-19 cases and 3 new deaths. The state total of cases is now 10,185. 442 people have died from the virus, and health officials announced a new death in Clay County today, the first death there since the virus was first reported there. Well, at last check, the number of U.S. weekly job claims total more than 2 million. More than 30% of those claims were from the state of Kentucky. While some have received benefits, others have received nothing. Terry Priest lives in Lawrence County and is self-employed. Since closing down his business under the order of Governor Beshear, he has not received an income in more than 3 months. WYMT's Lacey Roberts brings us his story.
Says I'm overdrawn at the bank and there's 30 bucks. So for all intents and purposes, that's not even mine. I've been 5 years working on my business. The end of January with no income. I operate a business called The Final Detail. Recondition them and make the used cars look better. I work a territory from Pikeville, Kentucky to Chillicothe, Ohio, and from Charleston, West Virginia to Lexington. One dealership tell me flat out, we're going to move everything in-house because business is so bad. Now, I started trying to file the 1st of April. Couldn't get through. I don't own a computer. Right there's all I've got. You cannot file for unemployment on a cell phone. I've got a list of phone numbers at home, 35, 40 numbers for different counties, different areas, trying to get somebody to call me back or to answer the phone. I haven't paid on my car insurance in 3 months. I haven't paid an electric bill in 4 months. I have cut corners every place I can cut them. I'd take a job working unemployment claims right now. We can't keep doing this. There's people going hungry.
And Lacey Roberts put that piece together. Priest says he tries to find odd jobs so he can buy propane for his stove and electric. Pikeville Medical Center is now the second hospital in the state to receive cath lab accreditation. PMC has 3 labs. 2 of those are hybrid labs with the ability to shift from a lab environment to a surgical room at any minute. Hospital officials say that equipment, paired with the hospital's medical staff, is part of the reason for the accreditation. They say it is all part of the hospital's growing promise to take care of people in the region.
Our families are allowed not to have to travel 2 and 3 hours away, to have to, stay overnight 2 or 3 days for their mom and dad to have a certain type of procedure. We can do those procedures here, and that's a drastic change from 15, 20 years ago.
The hospital will be accredited for the next 3 years before having to apply again. Today, all the county parks are open in Letcher County. The county had closed them due to COVID-19. Some of the parks had stayed open, but picnic shelters and walking trails were closed. Now all the picnic areas are open, but Judge Executive Terry Adams is asking people to not have large gatherings and to follow the guidelines of no more than 10 people.
We've had several calls on the parks and when it was going to open them, and we were just going by the governor's guidelines and trying to accommodate when we could.
The basketball courts will still be closed, as well as the playground equipment. Adams says he does not know when the playgrounds will reopen. Campgrounds will be closed until next Thursday.
And we are going to continue to see sunshine for your Wednesday. However, some scattered showers and storms return by your Thursday. I'll have a look at that forecast coming up.
And the Poke Salad Festival is underway in Harlan County this week, but it's a lot different this year. We'll take a sneak peek at the events and how one local business has managed to feed thousands of kids here in Eastern Kentucky.